Okay, so now I'm going to come back with my blender here and start giving the lower half of his face here some shape. This is a whole lot of guesswork and trial and error to get it right. I frequently have to go back and decide, no, that's not where that shadow needed to be. So I hope you'll be forgiving with me here if I do a lot of backtracking and changing my mind on where things go. Okay. I may need to use my finer little blender here for this. Let's jump to the smaller one for his lips. Frequently, when I'm working, I actually have my eyes in a state of sort of relaxed tension. So half the time they're relaxed and my vision is blurry, and half the time I snap them back into focus. That's on purpose, obviously. That's because as we're putting shadows in, we're laying these first layers. It doesn't actually look visually much like what the shadows are going to look like. In fact, it can frequently look nothing at all like what it's going to look like as a finished product. And that can be very alarming when you're working and you get something in there. You put this pencil down and thinking, okay, this is where this goes according to my reference picture and how I want this character to look. And then, lo and behold, that's it doesn't look right, and that can't possibly be right. And you start second guessing yourself. I've learned to work with my eyes kind of half focused so that I can see the potential of what it's going to look like once I've got all the layers done. And it really works. That actually has been my lifesaver in terms of not seeing it and panicking and thinking that's not right, when really it's actually pretty darn close to what I need. Okay, so we can see he's got some lips here, and I'm not done with those. They are just roughed in. So now I've got to like structure the face around the lips. And this is one of the most confusing and challenging areas to do, I find, because there's a lot of muscles in the face around the mouth and cheeks. And so very, very subtle expression happens there. So it's really easy as you're shading to, oh, I just want to quirk that lip up a little bit. Oh, just a little bit more. And next thing you know, you've gone and given them a totally bizarre expression because you haven't moved the rest of the muscles around with it. So it's one of those things, it's very challenging, but also very fun to work on. And there's some surprising shapes and shadows in this area that I did not realize were there until I really started doing these sort of portrait work. And again, we're using movement of the blender to give that shape. My shadows here are not nearly dark enough for this to work yet, but they will get there. As you can see, that's given him a little bit of a shape to his chin, and these need to be much darker. And the shadow under his chin is way too light still. It'll end up much darker by the end. Sorry if the video is getting a little shaky here. I realize I'm shaking my pad of paper and my other hand is resting on it. So that's giving you guys kind of a bumpy ride there. I apologize. So now the familiar step of roughing in my shadows is happening, and we're just going to do that kind of on both sides of the face, above the lip, and then we will go through the normal steps of shading and shaping here. Really need the nose there to be able to do the other side of that. But we can come up here and do this nice cheekbone. Okay, so there we've got some shape there. Now we're going to add another layer of shower. We're going to add another shower under his chin. Also, maybe a shadow, because showering wouldn't be terribly good for the drawing. And then we'll see about continuing on up his face and working on his nose.